whiskey of the week.
Oh, yeah.
And now we're going to be doing our whiskey of the week. What are you drinking this week,
Yeah,
TJ?
baby. I had to start it off with a banger this week. Right now, I am sipping on one of my favorite go-to whiskeys, Old Forester 1910 Old Fine Whiskey. If you're a whiskey fan, if you know what's been going on, everybody's been doing a toasted barrel. Whether it's Penelope, you got Double Oak from Peerless, you have Double Oak from Woodford. Everybody's doing toasted barrels. And this is the original Old Forester, thrown in an extra barrel, getting that extra wood flavor to it. Okay, it gives it a nice toasty note. They were the hip new thing before it was hip and new. You know what I mean? They were the OG gangsters, Old Forester 1910. So let's give it a little sniff.
So what's that costing us, T?
I can pick this up around by us for about $53. Anywhere from $50 to $60 is the price range for Old Forester 1910. They have their Whiskey Row series where they have about 6 different offerings, all in that $50 to $60 range. But this is 93 proof. Let's see. I don't know if there's an age statement on it. I don't believe there is. But 93 proof. On the nose, it just is dripping of a dessert. It is Bananas Foster all the way. A little bit of banana, a little bit of that fruity banana note to it, and then just a burnt caramel all the way through.
It is very small.
Dude, it is very sweet. It is very dessert-like. That's the best way to describe it. It is a sweet, not overly sweet, not fake sweet, not fireball. Like, it's not sweetened artificially. It's a smooth, beautifully, like, natural caramel flavor from the wood, and it's so drinkable. It's not even funny. I love sipping on this. If you're a fan of whiskey, a fan of bourbon, and you normally have your whiskey over ice or something like that, but you're looking to elevate it, you see all your friends drinking it neat, this is one of the first whiskeys I would recommend to try neat. You could really pick up the different flavors and notes and characteristics to it. It's very smooth, very easy to go down, no burn to it whatsoever. So, Old Forester 1910. Delicious. It is.
So I'm actually drinking if you're drinking Scotch is just Scotch whiskey. Scotch coming from Scotland. So anytime somebody goes, "Oh, I'm drinking Scotch," they're drinking whiskey. Just like bourbon is a type of whiskey and Irish whiskey is a type of whiskey, and it's all whiskey. Basically, if it's something brown and it's not cognac or brandy, it's whiskey. So I'm drinking Dalwhinnie 15. It's a single malt Scotch. Now, me personally, and everybody has their own tastes and their own pleasures when it comes to drinking. And just like eating a steak, some people want it rare and some people want it well done. Guess what? I don't got to eat your steak. I don't care how you want it. You know, don't mess up my steak and we'll be good. I drink my alcohol with ice because I like a cold drink. So I'll have a nice smooth sip of this.
Cheers, by the way.
Cheers, Gov. It's very smooth. I'm a little sick, so I can't take many aromas or flavors to it. I got no smell at all right now. I don't have COVID. I'm COVID free, thank God. But it doesn't have any burn. It's smooth. And that's the most I can appreciate. I can taste a lot of wood. There's a little bite at the end of it, but the bite is good. I appreciate the bite. This runs about $55-$65 a bottle. The bottles look like this bad boy right here. I would put it up there with like a Macallan 12, maybe a Macallan 18, something like that. Because obviously it's not going to be Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker's a blended Scotch. This is a single malt. But it's definitely up there. It's a little lighter though. Macallan is a little bit darker, as you can tell by the color. Macallan's a little bit darker than this, so it's definitely good. It's just not as dark as I'd like it to be. It's a little bit lighter. I was drinking penicillin. I tell you, I'm sick right now. Penicillin is a drink. You mix a couple of measures of ginger syrup, a couple of measures of honey, a couple of measures of lemon, and a whole bunch of measures of scotch. And you throw it on some ice, you shake it up real nice, and either it'll soothe your cough or you'll be too drunk to recognize that you're coughing. And you'll pass out. Either way.
I gotta ask you, where does one get ginger syrup?
I got mine on Amazon.
Okay,
Or
fair enough.
you can get ginger syrup from an Asian marketplace. Usually they'll have ginger syrup.
Okay, yeah,
Ginger-
I didn't know if it was like something that you could get at, you go to the liquor store and it's right next to the maraschino cherries and lime juice and you know what I mean?
Well, it's one of those things like honey. It's something you
Right.
cook with. So you're more likely to find it at a supermarket than you are at a liquor
Okay.
store.
Fair enough.
Because I don't think I'd go to the liquor store to go find honey, would I?
Not really, no.
Right?
That's
It's
true.
not like Dippin'.
I was in my brain. It was just clicking, like almost like, all right, you got your Demerara syrup, your simple syrup, your different flavorings to make cocktails. So.
Ginger syrup is a lot like honey. Like almost the same texture. It's not as sticky. It's a little bit more fluid.
Fluid.
But yeah, this single malt Dalwhinnie, which is actually just the first time I ever had it, open since 1898. Very good. I was very surprised with it. I kind of grabbed it on the fly because it was the only scotch I could find a couple weeks back.
Okay.
I'm very happy with my selection.
Awesome. Listen, man. Like Nick alluded to, some of us like our whiskey neat. Some like it on the rocks. Some like it in cocktails. I don't care if you buy a bottle of whiskey and throw it off your ceiling. That's up to you. You bought it. You enjoy it however you want. You want to take $1,000, Pappy Van Winkle and pour some Coke over it. I mean, more power to you. I would probably cry if you did it in front of me. But do it however you want. Whiskey is meant to be enjoyed, and
Let's pause that real quick. What if they did it in front of you, but they gave you your own glass?
oh, then I don't care.
Okay, fair enough.
No,
Fair
not. I think what I mean by if you did it in front of me is if you have money to burn and you walked up to the bar and said, "Oh, hey, is that a old Rip Van Winkle 10-year? Yeah. I'd like to buy the bottle. All right, well that's gonna be like $2,000. No problem. Here's my credit card." And then you took it out, and then you took a picture, poured the whole bottle in, and then poured a bottle of Coke in. I would probably cry myself to sleep for like a week.
Jeez.
Yeah, that would hurt so much because I'm never gonna get a chance to sip on some Pappy. I mean, that's not true. Then again, we went to American Whiskey, and I
I
did
was
get a
just gonna
pour.
say, let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, so we went to the Ranger game Tuesday night, where we absolutely dominated the Columbus Blue Jackets. We will get to that in the Ranger segment of our show. But right beforehand, we went right around the corner on 30th between 7th and 8th is American Whiskey. And they have a tremendous selection of whiskey. Scotches, whiskeys, ryes, bourbons, Irish whiskeys. They got the whole deal. And a pretty damn good Nashville hot chicken sandwich. Didn't love it on white bread. Would have rather it on a pretzel roll or like a potato roll or something like that. But the sauce was tremendous.
Hawaiian.
Dude, Hawaiian room, great, 100%. And dude, the Nashville hot sauce was tremendous. The chicken crispy and fried perfectly. But we weren't there for the food. We were there for the booze.
Pickle.
The pickle was good.
Most playful pickle.
So I ordered a Baker's 7. I think it was like $22 for a pour of Baker's 7, 2 ounces. And Baker's 7 is in my arsenal of want to buy a bottle, but haven't tried it yet, so haven't picked up a bottle yet. Rather try something before you buy it to figure out if you want to buy it or not. Save yourself the $60, $70, whatever you. I think Baker's 7 is like $75 right now. The very nice cocktail waitress said, I don't think we have any more, but let me check. As she's talking to what I assume is her manager, the manager walks over with a bottle of George T. Stagg. George T. Stagg is part of the BTAC, the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. It is one of the most coveted bottles that comes out every year. It comes out once a year. And it is, while it is $100 MSRP, if you look on the secondary market, and you're usually going to get it is the secondary market, it's going for anywhere from $1,100 to $2,000 if you can find a bottle, because that's how hard it is to get. That's how rare it is. People covet this stuff, and they go out and they buy it up as soon as it drops. So unless you're lucky enough to stumble into a mom and pop liquor store and they happen to have it sitting there, and they're nice enough to sell you it at MSRP because they don't know what they have or they don't want to rip you off, because they're just genuinely nice people. There it is. George T. Stagg. I believe the age statement on it is like 12, 13 years. It was, the one I had was, let me pull it up. Because of course I took a picture of it, let's be real. Not to drag this along any longer than it has to be. There it is. Boom. 138.7 proof. Uncut, unfiltered. So that George T. Stagg, the manager walks past while my waitress is asking her if they have any Baker 7 left, walks past with holding a bottle of George T. Stagg, and I, just on the goof, even when I see something high-end in the liquor stores, I always ask, like, how much is it? Just for shits and giggles to know, like, I'm poor and I can't afford it. She looks it up on the computer, comes back and goes, $42. And I was like, I don't believe you. She's like, no, it's $42. I'm like, okay, I'll have that. The hell with Baker 7. Sorry, Baker 7. No offense to you, but I'm going with the George T. Stagg. I sipped on that thing for like 45 minutes, a 2-ounce pour. It was heaven. It was pure, just sweet cherry and caramel and woodiness from the barrel. It was just, oh my God, it was heaven. It made me really think about offering them whatever pours were left in the bottle to buy it, because it was phenomenal. Phenomenal. But again, if you picked up a bottle of that and right in front of me dumped it out or poured it in a wine punch, yeah, I would probably throw myself through the front of the bar. That shit was
just so you know, TJ's not lying. It's actually like right here. It's the other page we saw. MSRP was $99, and as we can see, people are selling it for $1,300 nearly.
Yep.
So yesterday, I had the privilege of having some Blanton single barrel, and it was absolutely delicious. If you have the opportunity, a Blanton single barrel is about $165 to $180, depending on where you're looking for it. If you can find it for something like, I think TJ found it for like $75 once by accident.
It was $69. They had it for MSRP, one of the liquor stores I like to frequent, and I'm not even going to tell you people where it is, because I don't want you stealing my bottles when they have it out on the shelf. But they have it right there out on the shelf, not hiding behind the counter. Had it right out there on the shelf, and you know what? They do the right thing. Limit one per customer. That's it. No sitting there and buying up all of it and none for the rest of us, and then selling it online for $200. Sitting there for $70, pick that up, and I still haven't cracked it yet. Honestly, I said last year if the Rangers would have made it to the Stanley Cup Finals, I would have cracked it, and that would have been my third period bourbon. Unfortunately, they didn't get there, so maybe this is the year.